All right, let's dive into some vibrant flavors today.
Ooh, I like that.
So we're all about Vinhos Verdes today, those
Okay.
uniquely refreshing wines from northwest Portugal.
Awesome.
And you've shared this amazing book with us, Vinhos Verdes, Que é Completo para Apreciadores e Curiosos. So clearly you're trying to become quite the expert.
That's right.
So are you planning a trip?
Maybe.
Want to impress your friends at your next wine tasting?
Could be.
Whatever the reason, we're going to try to unlock the secrets of these wines today.
That sounds good.
And trust me, there's a lot more to them than just crisp white.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
What else?
Reds, rosés,
Oh, wow.
even sparkling Vinhos Verdes.
I did not know that.
But what really makes these wines stand out is the way they capture the essence of their region,
Okay.
the terroir, the Atlantic influence, and this fascinating blend of traditional and modern winemaking techniques.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued.
Yeah.
So let's start with the region itself.
Okay.
This book paints such a vivid picture of Vinho Verde.
Yeah.
Nestled between the Minho and Douro rivers in northwest Portugal,
Huh?
it's practically cradled by the Atlantic Ocean, isn't it?
It is, and that Atlantic influence is key.
Okay.
Abundant rainfall, high humidity, mild temperatures
Perfect for growing grapes.
all come together to create this unique microclimate, perfect for growing these grapes.
Yeah.
And it's not just one type of landscape either.
Oh,
Think rolling hills,
okay.
valleys carved by rivers.
I see.
You start to understand why Vinhos Verdes are so diverse.
Like each bottle is a snapshot of the landscape.
Exactly.
Now, I can't forget the history.
Yeah.
This book mentions winemaking dating back to the Romans.
It does.
But it was the monasteries in the Middle Ages that really put Vinhos Verdes on the map.
That's right.
Those monks were onto something special.
They knew a good thing when they tasted it.
That's for sure.
And over time, 9 distinct subregions emerged within Vinho Verde,
Wow. Okay.
each with its own personality and style.
So from the...
From the elegant Alvarinhos of Monção Melgaço to the vibrant Loureiros of Lima.
Yeah,
It's a region that's full of surprises.
I can see that.
Variety.
Let's talk about the grapes themselves.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like that's where the magic really starts.
It does.
What are some of the stars of the Vinho Verde show?
Well, on the white side, you can't talk about Vinho Verde without mentioning Alvarinho.
The queen.
This is the queen grape, especially in the Montsemi Melgaço subregion,
Okay.
known for producing wines that are elegant,
I like elegant wines.
age-worthy,
Oh, nice.
and bursting with citrus, floral notes, and a distinct minerality.
Now, why does Alvarinho have that minerality?
Oh, good question.
I'm guessing it has something to do with the soil.
You're exactly right.
Okay.
The granite soils in Montsemi Melgaço
Okay.
give the wines that unique mineral edge.
I see.
It's as if you're tasting the very earth the grapes grew in.
Wow.
Then there's Loureiro,
Bolero, okay.
which truly embodies that quintessential Vinho Verde freshness. Imagine biting into a juicy grapefruit
Ooh.
while strolling through a rose garden.
I like it already.
That's the kind of vibrant, aromatic experience you get with Loureiro.
Wow. Quite a sensory experience.
It is.
I can just picture myself sipping a glass on a sunny patio.
And don't forget Trajadura.
Trajadura.
This one's a bit of a team player,
Okay.
often blended.
Yeah, huh?
It adds a lovely lightness and elegance,
So it kind of balances out the other stronger flavor.
with notes of green apple and pear,
Nice.
rounding out the flavor profile.
Ah, the harmony of a good blend.
Exactly.
So we've got Queen,
Yeah.
the fresh face,
Uh-huh.
and the team player.
Yeah.
What other white grapes should we be on the lookout for?
Orento is a classic.
Okay.
His grape gives you wines with zingy acidity and pronounced minerality.
Oh, I like...
Think zesty citrus with a flinty edge,
Okay.
the kind of wine that wakes up your palate.
Yeah, wakes you up.
And then there's a Vesso,
Of a
a
veg.
real up-and-comer,
Ooh, a rising star.
known for its complexity and structure.
What makes a Vesso stand out?
It's got this beautiful balance of citrus and stone fruit flavors
Okay.
with a touch of minerality.
Minerality again. Interesting.
The really cool thing is that it has some aging potential
Nice.
and can handle more elaborate dishes than your typical light white.
So it's breaking the mold of what we think of as a Vinho Verde.
Exactly.
Now for the mind-blowing part. Red Vinhos Verdes. I have to admit, that was a surprise for me.
Yeah.
What are the key red grapes we should know about?
Well, Vinhão is the iconic red grape of the region.
Vinhão, okay.
It thrives in the cooler climate, creates wines that are light-bodied with soft tannins, and those juicy red fruit aromas you love.
So not your heavy, jammy red.
Not at all.
Okay.
Think light, bright, and refreshing,
Just like their white counterparts.
just like the white counterparts.
Okay.
It's all about capturing that vibrancy that Vinho Verde is known for.
Yeah.
Then you've got Borisol,
Borsal, okay.
which really leans into the whole taste of place concept.
Okay. What do you mean by taste of place?
It's rustic and authentic, with deep ruby colors,
Wow.
firm tannins,
Oh.
and earthy notes that reflect the unique terroir of the region.
It's like sipping on a piece of history.
Exactly.
And finally, tell me about Espadero.
Espadero is all about pure, easy drinking pleasure.
Okay, I like the sound of that.
It delivers fruity, light wines
Okay.
with a bright ruby color and those refreshing red berry aromas that just scream summer.
So even the reds have that signature Vinho Verde vibrancy.
That's right.
It's amazing how diverse this region is.
It is.
Okay, you mentioned earlier that Vinhos Verdes are more than just your average white. And with reds, rosés, and even sparkling, I can definitely see that.
Got it.
Let's break down those different styles.
Okay.
Starting with the white wines,
Yeah.
what can we expect?
The classic image of Vinho Verde is that young, fruity white wine, bursting with citrus and tropical fruit, with that refreshing acidity that makes you want to keep sipping.
I like it.
They're meant to be enjoyed young, perfect for a casual get-together
Casual, yeah.
or a light meal.
So picture yourself at a picnic with friends, enjoying some grilled fish and a chilled bottle of Vinho Verde.
Sounds perfect.
Sounds idyllic, right?
Absolutely.
But if you're looking for something with more depth and complexity,
Oh, yeah.
Vinho Verde has you covered there as well.
That's right.
We're talking full-bodied whites, often aged in oak,
Yeah,
using grapes like Alvarinho and Aranto.
those are good ones.
They develop these richer aromas of ripe fruit, spices, honey, and that wonderful minerality we talked about.
That's what we want.
So there's a Vinho Verde for every mood and occasion.
I think so.
I love it.
Me too.
And then there are the sparkling Vinhos Verdes,
Yes.
which I'm still intrigued by.
I know.
Tell me more about these.
Oh, they're delightful. Imagine those delicate bubbles dancing on your tongue
Ooh.
with refreshing acidity and aromas of citrus and white flowers.
Oh, nice.
They're made using the traditional method,
Okay.
just like champagne,
Interesting.
resulting in fine, persistent bubbles that elevate the whole experience.
Okay, I'm officially adding sparkling Vinho Verde to my must-try list.
Good choice.
What about rosé Vinho Verdes?
These are the epitome of summer in a glass.
Oh, how so?
Think delicate pink hues,
I see.
fresh red fruit flavors,
Yeah,
and a touch of floral and citrus notes.
I like it.
They're light, refreshing, and perfect for those warm, sunny days.
Now let's talk about the red Vinhos Verdes.
Okay.
Still blowing my mind.
I know, they're really good.
I never thought I'd be craving a light-bodied red.
It happens.
But here we are.
They truly speak to the history and evolution of the region.
Okay.
You've got your light and fruity reds
Yeah.
with soft tannins and vibrant acidity, making them super easy to drink.
Yeah, I like easy drinking.
They're bursting with fresh red berry flavors and floral notes.
What kind of food would you pair those with?
They're incredibly versatile.
Okay.
Think white meats, grilled fish, even pasta dishes.
Oh, wow.
They can handle it all.
Really?
And then you have the full-bodied reds,
Oh, there are full-bodied reds.
which spend some time in oak barrels,
I see.
developing more structure and complexity.
That makes sense.
You get those delicious notes of spice, chocolate, and coffee,
Oh, wow.
making them ideal for richer dishes like red meat game
Okay.
or aged cheeses.
So we've got the grapes, we've got the styles.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about the process itself.
Okay.
Does the book delve into how these wines are actually made?
It certainly does.
I'm fascinated by the blend of tradition and technology that you mentioned earlier.
It's a good mix.
Let's start with the traditional methods.
Right.
What are some of the time-honored techniques that make Vinhos Verdes so special?
One that really stands out is clay pot fermentation.
Clay pot fermentation, okay?
This ancient method involves fermenting the wine in porous clay pots,
Interesting.
which allows for a slower, more natural fermentation process.
So it's like they're going back to the roots of winemaking.
Exactly.
And what's the benefit of that?
Well, it's not just for nostalgia.
Okay.
The porous clay actually allows for microoxygenation,
Oh, okay.
which adds complexity and depth to the wine.
I see.
Then there's the use of indigenous yeasts,
Indigenous yeasts.
those wild little helpers that are naturally present in the vineyards and cellars.
So they're embracing those natural elements that make the region so unique.
That's right.
What other traditional techniques are they using?
Believe it or not, some producers still practice foot treading.
Foot treading, really?
It's exactly what it sounds like.
What?
Crushing the grapes by foot
Whoa.
in large stone laguerres.
Interesting.
It's a labor-intensive process,
Yeah, I bet.
but it results in a gentler extraction and softer tannins, which is perfect for those lighter styles of Vinho Verde.
It's amazing how they're doing things the old-fashioned way.
It is.
But of course, there's also the modern side.
Right.
How is technology changing the game for Vinhos Verdes?
Technology has brought a new level of precision and control to the winemaking process,
Okay.
allowing producers to create even more consistent, high-quality wines.
So it's not about replacing tradition,
No, not at all.
but rather enhancing it.
Precisely.
Yep.
Temperature control during fermentation, for example,
Yeah.
allows winemakers to preserve those delicate aromas and vibrant acidity that define Vinho Verde.
It's like they're finding new ways to express the essence of the region.
Exactly.
What other innovations are they using?
Microoxygenation is a technique that carefully introduces oxygen to the wine during aging.
Now, you might think oxygen is the enemy of wine,
You might,
but when done precisely,
right?
it can soften tannins,
What's that?
stabilize color,
Yeah.
and add complexity to the final product.
It's like giving the wine little breathing room to develop its full potential.
Okay, yeah.
What about yeasts?
Yeah, we talked about indigenous yeasts.
Right.
But are they using any modern yeast strains?
They are.
Okay.
The use of selected yeasts
Mm-hmm.
allows winemakers to target specific flavor profiles and ensure consistent fermentation.
So it's all about finding that perfect balance between tradition and innovation.
Exactly.
It's amazing how much thought and care goes into every bottle of Vinho Verde.
There's a lot of passion there.
Now, I'm sure you're going to tell me that these wines are incredible with food.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Vinhos Verdes are known for their versatility and food friendliness.
I see.
Their acidity and refreshing nature make them the perfect companions for a wide range of dishes.
Okay, I'm ready for a culinary adventure.
All right.
What are some of the classic pairings we should know about?
Seafood is a natural match.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
The acidity of Vinho Verde cuts through the richness of fish and shellfish,
I see.
making it the perfect complement to grilled fish, shellfish, or even a classic Portuguese seafood stew.
I can almost taste it now.
Almost.
What else goes well with Vinho Verde?
Salads, of course.
Salads, yeah.
The light and refreshing nature of Vinho Verde complements the freshness of salads, especially those with citrus or vinaigrette dressings.
So it enhances those bright, summery flavors.
Exactly.
And what about lighter dishes in general?
Perfect pairing.
Okay.
Think appetizers,
Yeah,
soups,
I see.
anything that's not too heavy or rich.
Uh-huh.
The acidity of the wine actually stimulates the appetite and prepares you for the next course.
Okay, so we've covered the classics.
Right.
But are there any surprising pairings that might not immediately come to mind?
You might be surprised to learn that Vinhos Verdes can handle certain white meats,
White meats.
those with good structure and acidity,
Like those made with a vessel.
like those made with a veso,
Okay.
can stand up to grilled or roasted chicken,
Oh, wow.
turkey, or even pork.
So they have more depth than we give them credit for.
Exactly. They can surprise you with their ability to hold their own against bolder flavors.
Okay, I'm starting to see that.
Another surprising pairing is Asian cuisine.
Asian cuisine.
The acidity and citrus notes in Vinhos Verdes can cut through the spice and richness of many Asian dishes,
Oh, okay.
like sushi,
I see.
curries,
Yeah.
and stir-fries.
That's an interesting combination.
It is.
I'm definitely going to try that.
You should.
And what about dessert?
Dessert.
Can Vinhos Verdes handle the sweet stuff?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Vinhos Verdes with a touch of sweetness, like a late harvest Lorero, can pair beautifully with fruit tarts, fruit salads, and citrus-based desserts.
So there really is a Vinho Verde for every occasion.
That's the beauty of it.
Now, this book has got me daydreaming about a trip to the Vinho Verde region.
Mm-hmm.
Does it offer any insights into planning a Vinho Verde adventure?
It does. It paints a beautiful picture of the region
Okay.
and offers some great tips for planning a trip.
Perfect, because now I'm officially hooked.
Or
What are the best times to visit?
spring and fall offer pleasant temperatures and breathtaking landscapes.
Nice.
Imagine strolling through vineyards with the sun on your face and the scent of wildflowers in the air.
That sounds so relaxing.
Summer is harvest time,
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
so you'll find lots of wine festivals and events.
Sounds like fun.
A vibrant time to experience the region's energy.
And winter.
Winter is quieter and more cozy, perfect for those who prefer a more relaxed pace.
Sound like there's a perfect time for everyone.
I think so.
What kinds of activities can you do in the Vinho Verde region?
Well, wine tastings are a must.
Of course.
You can visit quintas,
Quintas.
which are family-owned wine estates,
Oh, okay.
and sample a variety of wines while learning about the history and terroir of the region.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
And what about vineyard tours?
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to see those rolling hills and valleys up close.
Vineyard tours are a fantastic way to experience the unique growing methods and see those stunning landscapes firsthand.
I bet the scenery is just breathtaking.
It truly is.
And don't forget about food and wine pairings.
How could we?
You can experience the region's cuisine alongside its wines, a match made in heaven.
Truly a match made in heaven.
I can't imagine a better way to immerse yourself in the local culture.
Me neither.
What about festivals and events?
There are plenty of those, especially during the harvest season.
Okay.
It's a great way to experience the energy and excitement of the region while enjoying the local music, food, and wine.
Okay, I'm officially adding a Vinho Verde adventure to my bucket list.
Great choice.
But beyond the romanticism of touring vineyards,
Yeah.
I'm also curious about the future of the region.
Okay.
Is the book optimistic about what lies ahead for Vinhos Verdes?
It is.
Oh, good.
The region is facing its challenges, of course,
Yeah?
but there's a strong commitment to sustainability and innovation.
I like that.
A real sense of responsibility for the future of Vinhos Verdes.
That's fantastic to hear.
Yeah.
What are some of the sustainability challenges they're facing?
Well, biodiversity is a major concern.
Biodiversity.
Producers are working hard to preserve the natural balance of the region
Okay.
by protecting native plants and animals,
Uh-huh.
creating habitats,
Yeah.
and promoting organic farming practices.
So they understand that a healthy ecosystem is crucial for producing high-quality grapes.
Exactly.
And resource management is another key focus, particularly when it comes to water.
Right.
Efficient water usage through drip irrigation and rainwater harvesting is becoming increasingly important,
That's right.
as is maintaining soil health through cover crops and minimizing the use of heavy machinery.
It's all connected.
It's a holistic approach, isn't it?
It is.
They're not just thinking about the vines, but about the entire ecosystem that supports them.
Absolutely.
And it goes beyond just the environment.
That's right.
Sustainability also means supporting the local communities through fair labor practices, social projects, and preserving the cultural heritage of the region.
That's a key part of it.
So it's about ensuring that the success of Vinho Verde benefits everyone.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about some of the specific sustainability practices they're implementing.
Okay.
I know organic viticulture is becoming increasingly popular around the world.
Uh-huh.
Is that a trend in Vinho Verde as well?
It is. More and more producers are eliminating synthetic chemicals and focusing on natural inputs and pest control methods.
So they're going back to basics, but in a very modern way.
It's a nice balance.
What other approaches are they taking?
Some producers are embracing biodynamic viticulture, which treats the vineyard as a living organism.
Biodynamic viticulture.
They use natural preparations
Uh-huh.
and follow lunar cycles to guide their farming practices,
Interesting.
creating a harmonious balance between the vines and their environment.
It's like a spiritual approach to winemaking.
In a way, it is.
And then there's integrated viticulture.
Right. Which I imagine is a bit of a hybrid approach.
You got it.
Okay.
It's a balanced approach that combines organic practices with minimal chemical intervention when absolutely necessary.
So it's about finding a sustainable solution that works for the specific needs of each vineyard and the environment as a whole.
That's the goal.
So there's no one-size-fits-all solution.
Right.
It's about finding what works best for each individual producer and the ecosystem they're a part of.
Exactly.
Now, we can't talk about the future of wine without addressing the elephant in the room.
Climate change.
Climate change.
That's a big one.
It's a major concern for wine regions all over the world.
That's right.
How are Vinhos Verdes producers adapting to this challenge?
They're facing the same challenges as other wine regions.
Yeah.
Rising temperatures, changes in rainfall patterns, and increased risk of extreme weather events.
Yeah.
But they're not sitting idly by.
Okay, that's good.
They're experimenting with drought and heat-tolerant grape varieties,
Oh, interesting.
adapting water management techniques.
And even adjusting their pruning and canopy management practices to protect the grapes from excessive sun exposure.
It's inspiring to see them being so proactive and innovative in the face of these challenges.
They are.
They're also embracing technology to help them monitor and manage their vineyards more effectively.
Exactly.
They're using sensors to track soil moisture levels, weather stations to predict changes in temperature and rainfall,
Yeah.
and drones to capture aerial images of the vineyards,
That's right.
giving them a bird's eye view of their crops.
It's like they're bringing the vineyard into the digital age.
It is. This data must be incredibly helpful in making informed decisions about how to manage the vineyards and adapt to these challenges.
It's essential.
Now, we've talked about traditional techniques and modern innovations in winemaking.
Uh-huh.
What about technological innovations in other areas?
Okay.
How is technology shaping the future of Vinhos Verdes beyond the vineyard?
Technology is playing a huge role in shaping the future of Vinhos Verdes, from vine to bottle. We're seeing the rise of precision viticulture,
Precision viticulture.
which uses sensors, drones, and data analysis to optimize grape growing and resource management.
So it's about applying technology in a way that enhances sustainability.
Exactly.
And then there's precision in enology.
Right, which uses cutting-edge technology to analyze grape and wine composition,
So they can really dial in the process.
allowing winemakers to fine-tune the winemaking process with incredible precision.
It's like they're getting a microscopic view of the winemaking process.
That's a great way to put it.
They can target specific flavor profiles and ensure consistency across vintages,
Exactly.
which is especially important in a region like Vinho Verde, where diversity is key.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm also curious about packaging.
Yeah.
Are they making any advancements in terms of sustainable packaging?
Absolutely. Sustainable packaging is a major focus for Vinhos Verdes producers.
That's great to hear.
They're exploring lighter bottles,
Okay.
recycled glass, and alternative packaging options like bag and box,
Bag and box.
all in an effort to reduce their environmental footprint.
It's impressive to see them thinking about sustainability at every stage of the process, from the vineyard to the consumer's table.
It's a holistic approach.
And they're not stopping there.
No,
Technology is also helping them streamline and improve the overall production process.
absolutely.
Climate monitoring, vineyard sensors, and production management software are all being used to increase efficiency and reduce waste.
It's all about working smarter, not harder.
It's like technology is giving them a more comprehensive understanding of the entire journey, from grape to bottle.
It is.
I'm absolutely captivated by everything I've learned about Vinhos Verdes today.
I know, me too.
It's amazing how much depth and diversity there is to explore.
There really is.
I'm definitely going to be seeking out some new bottles to try.
You should.
And I might even have to start planning that trip to Portugal.
I highly recommend a visit.
What really stands out to me is how Vinhos Verdes are embracing both tradition and innovation, forging a path towards a sustainable future for their wines and their region.
It's a beautiful story.
It is.
And it begs the question,
That's that.
could Vinhos Verdes, with their focus on lightness, freshness, and lower alcohol content,
Yeah.
become even more popular as people seek out lighter drinking options?
That's a great point.
Right.
It seems like they're perfectly positioned to appeal to the changing tastes of wine drinkers.
I think so.
And given their commitment to sustainability,
Yeah,
they could also become a model for other wine regions facing climate challenges.
absolutely.
We've only just scratched the surface of Vinhos Verdes today,
We have.
but I feel like we've uncovered a hidden gem.
We have. And hopefully we've given you a taste of what makes these wines so special.
Yeah,
Their vibrancy, their diversity, and the passion of the people who make them.
I think we have.
Right.
Now, before we get too carried away with our Vinho Verde daydream,
Okay.
we're going to take a quick break.
Right.
But when we come back, we'll be sharing our final thoughts on Vinhos Verdes
Okay.
and giving you some tips on where to find these delicious wines.
I like
Stay
it.
tuned.
Sounds good.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of Vinhos Verdes.
I'm ready for more.
Me too. I don't know about you,
Yeah.
but I'm ready for another sip of knowledge about these fascinating wines.
Well, I'm ready to pour. You know, one thing that really resonated with me from this book
Yeah.
is the passion of the people who make Vinho Verde.
Oh, absolutely.
It's clear that they're not just making wine.
Yeah.
They're preserving a heritage, a way of life.
It's every bottle has a story to tell,
Yeah.
a connection to the land and the people who have been tending these vineyards for generations.
For centuries even.
And that dedication really shines through in their commitment to sustainability
Absolutely.
and innovation. They're finding ways to honor the past while also embracing the future.
That's what makes this region so exciting.
I agree.
It's a place where tradition and progress coexist beautifully.
I like that.
You see it in everything from those ancient clay fermentation pots
Yeah.
to the high-tech sensors monitoring the vineyards.
Right.
It's like they found the perfect balance between old world charm and modern know-how.
Speaking of old world charm,
Yeah.
I keep thinking about those sparkling Vinhos Verdes we talked about earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Are they a recent invention, or
Good question.
have they been around for a while?
You might be surprised to learn that sparkling Vinhos Verdes have actually been around for centuries,
Really?
though they're only recently starting to gain the recognition they deserve.
I see.
On the international stage, it's as if they've been quietly bubbling away,
Like a well-kept secret.
waiting for their moment to shine.
I love discovering hidden gems like that.
Me too.
What makes them different from other sparkling wines?
Wow.
Do
Yeah.
they have that same Vinho Verde personality?
Oh, absolutely. They have their signature vibrancy and lift,
Okay.
thanks to the region's naturally high acidity,
Uh-huh.
and the grapes themselves, like Alvarinho and Lorero,
Mm.
bring those beautiful aromas of citrus, flowers, and a touch of minerality to the party.
Yeah, it's like a celebration in a bottle.
It is.
A true expression of the Vinho Verde terroir.
I love that.
And they're versatile too, right?
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned they could be enjoyed on their own, with a meal, or even with dessert.
They're incredibly food-friendly.
Okay.
They can be enjoyed as a refreshing aperitif,
Okay.
paired with lighter seafood and vegetable dishes,
Mm-hmm.
or even served with a fruit tart or a citrus-based dessert.
Oh, wow.
The possibilities are endless.
Okay, now I'm really craving a glass of sparkling Vinho Verde.
Me too.
And what about those red Vinhos Verdes?
Yeah, those are good.
I'm still so intrigued by the idea of a light-bodied red wine.
I know, right?
I feel like they challenge everything I thought I knew about red wine.
They do, don't they?
They break the mold and offer a completely different experience.
Exactly. They're perfect for those who love the fruitiness and freshness of a red wine,
Yeah.
but prefer something a little lighter and more refreshing. That's me.
You mentioned Vinhão as the most iconic red grape.
Right.
What sets it apart from other red grapes?
I'm curious to know.
Well, Vinhão is a grape that's perfectly suited to the Vinho Verde climate.
Okay.
It thrives in the cool, damp conditions,
Uh-huh.
and it produces wines with the unique character that you won't find anywhere else.
Oh, interesting.
The wines are known for their bright red berry fruit,
Okay.
a hint of spice,
I like spice.
and a slight earthiness that reflects the granite soils where they're grown.
It's like you're tasting the essence of the region in every sip.
That's the goal.
And they're incredibly food-friendly too, right?
Oh, yeah.
What would you pair them with?
They pair beautifully with lighter dishes,
Okay.
like grilled fish,
Ah.
seafood,
Where?
white meats,
Okay.
and even pasta with fresh, vibrant sauces.
Vinho Verde is really changing my perspective on what a wine region can be.
It's a special place.
Now, we've talked a lot about the importance of sustainability in Vinho Verde.
But are there any specific challenges they're facing in terms of preserving their unique environment?
Well, like many wine regions around the world,
Yeah.
they're grappling with the balance between tradition and progress.
Oh, okay.
It's about finding ways to honor their heritage while also embracing new ideas and technologies that can help them protect the environment for future generations.
I can imagine that's a delicate dance.
It is.
How do they navigate that?
It's an ongoing conversation,
Okay.
a collaboration between the older generation who hold the knowledge of traditional practices
Yeah.
and the younger generation who are eager to bring in fresh perspectives and innovations.
So it's a blending of wisdom, really.
Exactly.
It sounds like they're creating a model for what sustainable winemaking can look like in the 21st century.
I think they are. The book also highlighted the importance of biodiversity in the region.
Oh, right.
They're really focused on protecting the natural ecosystem that surrounds the vineyards.
Why is that so important?
Biodiversity is like the foundation of a healthy ecosystem.
Okay.
It creates a balance, a resilience
Yeah,
that allows the vineyards to thrive.
I see.
When you have a diverse range of plants and animals,
Yeah,
you create a natural defense against pests and diseases.
that makes sense.
You build a system that can better adapt to changes in the environment.
So it's not just about protecting the vines,
Right.
but about protecting the entire web of life that surrounds them.
Exactly. And Vinhos Verdes producers are taking this very seriously.
Okay.
They're planting cover crops between the rows of vines to attract beneficial insects.
Uh-huh.
They're creating habitats for wildlife.
Oh, wow.
And they're minimizing the use of pesticides and herbicides
Yeah.
that can disrupt the natural balance.
It's like they're turning their vineyards into mini nature preserves.
I like that analogy.
It's such a beautiful way to approach winemaking.
It is.
And speaking of challenges,
Mm-hmm.
we can't talk about the future of wine without addressing climate change. How are Vinhos Verdes producers dealing with the effects of a changing climate?
They're facing many of the same challenges as other wine regions.
Yeah.
Rising temperatures, unpredictable rainfall, and the increased risk of extreme weather events.
Yeah.
But they're not just reacting to these changes.
Okay,
They're proactively adapting and finding innovative solutions.
that's good to hear. What are some of the specific things they're doing to adapt?
They're experimenting with new grape varieties
Okay.
that are more resistant to drought and heat stress.
Uh-huh.
They're implementing water-saving irrigation techniques.
Yeah.
And they're even adjusting their pruning and canopy management practices to protect the grapes from excessive sun exposure.
I see.
It's a multi-pronged approach that addresses the challenges from every angle.
It's amazing how they're blending traditional knowledge with modern science to find solutions.
It's a great combination.
What role does technology play in all of this?
Technology is an invaluable tool in helping them monitor and manage the vineyards effectively. They're using sensors to track soil moisture levels and temperature, weather stations to predict changes in rainfall patterns,
I see.
and even drones to capture aerial images of the vineyards,
So cool.
giving them a comprehensive view of what's happening on the ground.
It's like they have a high-tech command center for the vineyards.
It is, and this data
Ah.
is incredibly helpful in making informed decisions about how to manage the vineyards
Yeah.
and
well,
adapt to these challenges.
Absolutely. It allows them to fine-tune their practices and respond to changes in real time,
Right,
making
sure.
them more efficient and resilient.
Exactly.
So we've covered the environmental challenges.
Yeah.
But what about the economic challenges?
Okay.
The wine world is a competitive place.
It is.
How are Vinhos Verdes producers staying competitive in the global market?
Well, they're focusing on quality over quantity.
Okay, that makes sense.
They're committed to producing wines that express the unique terroir of the region.
Oh.
And they're not afraid to experiment with new styles and techniques
Yeah.
to create wines that are truly exceptional.
So they're playing to their strengths,
Exactly.
highlighting what makes them unique.
That's right. And they're actively building relationships with importers, distributors, and sommeliers around the world.
I see.
They're telling the story of Vinhos Verdes,
Uh-huh.
sharing their passion for these wines,
All right.
and introducing them to new audiences who are eager to discover something different.
It's all about getting the word out
It is.
and letting people experience the magic of Vinhos Verdes firsthand.
Exactly.
Now, I know we could talk about Vinhos Verdes for hours,
Oh, we could.
but unfortunately, we're running out of time.
Okay.
Before we move on to our final thoughts,
Yeah.
I have to ask, what's the one thing that surprised you the most while reading this book?
Oh, that's a good question.
What really stood out to you?
You know, what surprised me the most was the sheer diversity of Vinhos Verdes. I think there's a misconception that it's just a region for simple, light, white wines.
Right.
But as we've discussed, there's so much more to discover: complex, age-worthy whites,
Oh, yeah.
rich, spicy reds,
Uh-huh.
and even those elegant, sparkling wines.
It's a region that truly defies expectations.
It does.
It's a great reminder that we should never judge a wine region by its stereotypes.
That's right.
There's always more to explore beneath the surface.
Always.
And Vinhos Verdes is a perfect example of that.
I couldn't agree more.
I think we've both been bitten by the Vinho Verde bug.
I think we have.
Now we're going to wrap things up after a quick word from our sponsors. So
All right.
when we come back,
Yeah.
we'll be sharing some final thoughts on Vinhos Verdes
Sounds good.
and offering some tips on where you can find these incredible wines.
They like it.
Stay tuned.
All right.
Welcome back. We've journeyed through the picturesque landscapes,
It's beautiful there.
tasted the vibrant flavors,
So vibrant.
uncovered the secrets of Vinhos Verdes. I feel like I've just gotten a crash course in all things Vinho Verde.
You have.
But before we wrap up our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to touch on something we haven't explicitly talked about.
All right.
We've explored the unique characteristics of these wines, the lightness, the freshness, that signature acidity.
Yeah.
But how do they compare to other white wines out there?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think Vinhos Verdes carve out their own special place in the world of wine.
Okay.
They're not trying to be a buttery Chardonnay or a grassy Sauvignon Blanc.
So they're not following trends.
No,
They're setting their own.
exactly. And that's what makes them so refreshing.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word.
I agree.
They offer a different experience, one that prioritizes vibrancy,
Yeah.
lightness, and pure enjoyment.
And isn't that what we all want from a glass of wine?
I think so.
A moment of pure pleasure,
Right.
a little escape.
Absolutely. And Vinhos Verdes, with their deep connection to that beautiful region and its rich history, offer just that.
Now, I know our listeners are probably eager to get their hands on some of these wines.
Yeah.
Any tips on where to start their Vinho Verde journey?
Luckily, Vinhos Verdes are becoming more and more widely available.
Oh, good.
You can find them in most well-stocked wine shops these days.
Okay.
Look for bottles from the different sub-regions we talked about.
Uh-huh.
And don't be afraid to ask the staff for recommendations.
Yeah.
They're usually happy to point you in the right direction.
And what about online retailers?
Oh, yeah.
Are they a good source for Vinhos Verdes?
Absolutely. Many online retailers specialize in Portuguese wines.
Okay.
And you can often find a wider selection online than in brick-and-mortar stores.
So no excuses not to give Vinhos Verdes a try.
No excuses.
As we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I'm curious to know, what's the main takeaway you hope our listener walks away with?
Good question.
What's the one thing you want them to remember about Vinhos Verdes?
I think the most important thing to remember is that Vinhos Verdes are so much more than meets the eye. They're not just simple, easy drinking wines.
Right?
They're complex, they're nuanced, they offer a surprising amount of diversity.
And they reflect the history, the culture, the passion of the people who make them.
Exactly, a taste to place in every bottle.
They are.
And let's not forget,
What's that?
they're delicious.
They are. So be adventurous, open your mind, and a bottle of Vinho Verde.
Yes.
And discover the magic for yourself.
I agree.
And on that note,
Okay.
we'll bid you farewell. But before we go, we want to leave you with one final thought-provoking question.
Hit me.
Given the region's commitment to sustainability and the unique flavor profile of these wines, could Vinhos Verdes be the wines of the future?
It's a fascinating question.
It is.
And one we hope you'll continue to ponder as you embark on your Vinho Verde adventures.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep